Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my new video where we are going to go over the top 5 ADCs to help you climb out of low elo. Now, as always with my other lists, this is just my personal opinion. This is not like, I'm not saying that you can't climb with the other champions. This is just going to give you the easiest road to climbing, in my opinion. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts if you want to put together your own list and throw it in the comments. I love reading those, and also gives me an idea for future videos. If I see like just a bunch of people spamming like Twitch, or Vayne, or Sivir, and they only want to talk about those champions, I'd probably be making a video about that in the future. So please let me know if there's like a champion in this role that you guys just really want me to cover more. So with that out of the way, we are going to have a little bit, maybe a little bit different picks, maybe ones you aren't really used to, but these are going to focus on what low elo players need, and that is easy to execute champions that can CS at a decent clip. Yeah, that wraps up the intro. Let's get right into the list. All right, and number 5. Now, this is actually the hardest champion to execute on this list. But the reason I wanted to include Draven as the number 5 one is if you feel like you are better on a micro level than most ADCs in your elo, he is the biggest like force amplifier. If you're able to snowball already, he's going to help you snowball even harder. So if you feel like you're one of those people that are like, God, my team always feeds and I can never carry, maybe it's time to pick up something that can carry even harder than some of the other champions. Now, he has a really strong lane phase, extremely strong damage. He's my absolute favorite ADC to play with when I am going on support, because if I perform well in support, it just boosts that Draven to such a high, insanely high level. It will take quite a bit of time to get used to the champion. It's not one of those super easy to execute champions like the other ones that I'm going to have on my list, but I wanted to include him as number 5 because he is just really underrated in his carry potential and just able to really dumpster enemy ADCs if you feel like you're on a better micro level than the average player in your elo. And that will wrap up number 5. All right, and number 4, one of my favorite ADCs as well, is Jinx. Now, she's extremely strong in the late game, but she doesn't have the worst laning phase with those chompers being really strong, setting up picks if you're working with an engaged support, and then your zap doing a good amount of damage, and then just having the great range from your Q. She's a really good all-around champion. Just a couple caveats when you are picking Jinx is that she might struggle a little bit with a bunch of divers because she is pretty squishy and doesn't really have a way to escape like maybe something like a Tristana would, but she is extremely strong when she is supported and peeled for quite well, and just when she gets excited, it can snowball quite hard, and she can auto attack just extremely hard. One of my favorite lanes to run with this is Jinx Morgana, because you just get that black shield and you just run down the enemy team once you get a single one of your procs from your passive. So if you're looking for someone that's a little bit easy but not too easy, and just a fun champion, her ult is a blast. You're just sniping people from across the map, and her auto attack range is really strong. So even if you get in a little bit of trouble, maybe give up a kill or two, you can still CS her max range with your rockets. So that is Jinx. I think she is extremely strong carry. If you are a marksman player and you haven't tried her out, maybe it's time to give her a second look. All right, and jumping into number 3, we have Sivir. Now, she has a special spot on this list because she is so amazing at CSing with the combo of her Q and her W, just really clears waves so quickly. So if you're one of those ADC players that maybe you have really good micro, you're decent at the elo you're in, but you feel like one of the things that's holding you back is your CS, Sivir is a great pick for you. She scales so hard off of just getting a bunch of CS. She is a little bit weaker kind of in the mid game. She has a decent early game with just the base damages on her Q being very strong, but once she gets those 3 items, she feels extremely strong, and her ult can provide great utility for your team. So keep an eye out if you see a team that's just looking to run at the enemy and just kind of just roll over them. A lot of the times this happens with a bunch of tanks. So something like a Malphite out of the top, maybe a Hecarim jungle, a Yasuo in the mid lane. just a bunch of people that are going to be helped out quite a bit by that increased movement speed. This is a great time to pick Sivir. So when those two things happen, it can be good. Also, Sivir is pretty good into AP Mage poke matchups if you struggle against those, because these spell shields can help you block the key spell that's being thrown out. So for example, a Brand throws out his Q for the stun, or a Zyra throws out the E for the root. Sivir can be a little bit of a just kind of a safeguard through that, and just with her great damage, she can throw back a bunch of poke into the enemy when they're AP mages that have very limited sustain. So it's kind of my spiel on Sivir. Let me know. I know this one might be a little bit controversial because she is a I don't really see her played that much, but I think she is just such a great all-around champion. All right, and number 2, I think a lot of you guys saw this coming if you are used to my channel. We have Miss Fortune. Now, the reason why I wanted to add Miss Fortune and why I put her so high on the list, so if you're coming from any other role, you're probably not going to be playing too many auto attack based champions like a lot of the ADCs are. This is where Miss Fortune can really shine. Say if you're used to playing mages in the mid lane, you cross over to ADC, you want to try that out. Miss Fortune is really good because you're just really heavily ability based. There is a new build with Bork that's a little bit more auto attack focused, but Miss Fortune is such a great champion in the way that it's extremely easy to execute her, and all you have to do in team fights is to get off a good ult. I have a 5 tips video. I have a couple different videos on Miss Fortune, even a troll support guide for Miss Fortune when that was big, if you wanted to check those out in my library. But if you're looking for an easy to execute, relatively safe champion, Miss Fortune is just a great pick. She snowballs quite hard. She has a bunch of different builds. You have the Bork build into the traditional, and then you have the lethality build, and you can even do a crit build when you get really far ahead. And she is just such a great champion. You just have to make sure that you're using your passive effectively, and making sure when you take trades that you auto a minion first, just so you get the love tap on the ADC when you place that again. And yeah, she's just an extremely versatile champion. If you have any questions about Miss Fortune, I am a huge proponent of her, and I love playing her. So let me know, and I'll be able to help you in the comments down below. All right, and jumping into number 1, we have Tristana. I know this is always the champion I recommend in my streams when someone comes in and is like, hey, what ADC should I play to climb? This is what I recommend. There's a couple reasons why. She is extremely safe, so if you see a bunch of divers, she is just perfect for that. Because 1, she has her rocket jump where she can get away that way. Then 2, she has her ult that she can knock people away. And 3, she's relatively strong during all points of the game. There isn't a point where Tristana just feels extremely weak. Maybe like a 1 or 2 item is kind of her worst time, but she's extremely strong in the early game with the stacks getting up on her E and maybe going press the attack to even increase that bomb damage further. And then late game, she's just a huge hyper carry because of her Q just giving her a lot of attack speed and just her ability to do a lot of damage and peel for herself, that she's just a great all-around pick. If you're looking to pick up a ADC that's not ability based, you just want to get used to the auto attacking, Tristana is a great pick because she has amazing range in the late game too. She just has everything you would want in a kit for a low elo player that is looking to carry. She has a lot of snowball potential. She has a lot of cleanup potential when people don't respect your W jump reset. She has a huge amount of damage at her level 6 with her ult that's like 300 damage base, that really can surprise a lot of people. That it's just really, if you are not playing Tristana right now and you're in low elo and you're struggling, you're playing Vayne, you're playing Kai'Sa, you're playing Twitch, and you're at a 50% win rate with 300 games played, maybe it's time to try and pick up something a little bit easier, like the Tristana or the Miss Fortune. Again, if you have any questions about this champion, I would love to help you out. There's a couple different builds, but you just basically build the general like 3 item, like the double zeal item with the Infinity Edge, and she is just a absolute monster. And then with the tower plates, she's even good, like so good in this meta, because with the tower plates she can knock up down so quickly with her E and rotate up and take more tower plates. It's just her kit is just perfect for an ADC. If I could design an ADC myself, I would design Tristana. That will wrap up the list. That's my number 1 pick. Again, if you guys wanted to let me know if you think my list is shit, if you have some other ideas, I'd love to hear your comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like and subscribe and share it. That really helps me out quite a bit. I'm probably going to be streaming a little bit later, so make sure to hit the bell button if you want to join me here. It is going to be on YouTube. And as always, guys, take it easy.